Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something that we, I've talked about this before, but in the podcast, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth and I'm going to talk a longer time than I've always talked about. And this is borrowing money from family. Uh, they're borrowing from you. How do you adjust that? How do you get situated with that? So, we're going to talk about that today. Borrowing money is sometimes emotional. And what I mean by that is you get emotional and you give somebody money, you work for it, you earned it, and it gets in emotions because when you don't get it back, uh, you can get emotional about it. You can get angry, you can get happy, you can get sad. If you get the money, you get happy, but you get sad if they don't pay you back, and then you get emotional and you make a judgment call, and I'll never let them borrow the money again. So today's podcast is going to be a little bit in depth about that and about not only family borrowing money, maybe a neighbor or someone that's close to you or someone you know. We all often, I don't care who you are, and including me, throughout my life, I've had to borrow money. And yes, I've borrowed money. Nothing is ever always rosy all the time. And it's not like it's constant and you get this and get this and get this. But there's times and situations where you may have to say, okay, I need to borrow some money. And where do I get some from? And if it's 100 or 500 or whatever it is, sometimes I don't care who you are, you need to have someone that you can reach out to do that. The thing too is if and a lot of friendships and relationships are lost because of borrowing money. And uh, you can actually have a good friend and someone you know for a long time, and either they borrow money from you or you borrow money from them. And sometimes it can go sour. Sometimes you can lose a relationship because of that. So I know that for me, if I ever borrowed one penny, I would pay back that one penny plus another penny. And I tried to always remember that throughout my life that if I'm not good that way, I'm good the other way. You know what I mean? I try to always give that extra for them taking the time and doing that because they did take it out of their money, whatever it is. And I have to say, I've been lucky in life. I've not had to borrow it more so than maybe 5 times my whole lifetime. But still, there's times where you need it, and there was times where I needed it, and I never forget my father. I borrowed money from my father. I thought, oh boy, and it was a few thousand, and I said, I'll never get this paid off. I did, and I remember about midstream, he says, don't pay it back. I said, no, I will, but I did. I paid it back, but then I gave him some extra and gave him things that he liked, and payment for that interest. But I have to say sometimes including our she's going to need to borrow money in school and college and everything else. She's not going to be able to fend for herself. I mean, it's a jump start. But today we're going to talk about this more about this. So stay tuned, and hope you guys will like this podcast, and hope you'll like what I say in it. And so thank you so much for always watching. I appreciate all the uh, work you guys do on my channels. Thank you.